Have you ever been told, put down those video games, they'll fry your brain? What if I told you those games actually train your brain? That those very games will give you an advantage when applying for a job, AKA, they're good for you. But is this for real? Amy Holmes, Hot List Anchor, what's your take? I mean, can video games really help you get a job?
You know, Raj, I was as surprised as you to find out that the answer is yes. Employers are giving job applicants these tests to measure a number of different things: their skill level, their problem-solving ability, all of these aspects to determine whether or not that job applicant would be a good fit with their company.
So what kind of games are employers actually using?
Okay, so it's not like Grand Theft Auto or The Hobbit or War of the Worlds. These are very specific video games that are to measure an employee's response. So for example, Pymetrics is a company that has these video games. And one of the games called Faces is where they show you a person's face with an expression, and you have to guess or decide what expression that is. So I have it right here on my computer. You and I went through this, and we were both kind of stumped. Is that person angry? Are they puzzled? Are they disgusted? Is that fear? And each one of these expressions, you have to decide 7 seconds. And I didn't do very well because I kept like looking and, gosh, I don't know, and try to be thoughtful and really get into that person's mindset. And bam, the next picture was already up.
How is this actually testing your job skills?
Well, so for example, another one of these Pymetrics games is to take rings, colored rings, and to place them on different poles in a certain order. And they want you to do it in as few moves as possible. So that shows you problem solving, that you look at the problem and then you try to get to the solution as quickly and efficiently as possible. There's another game that's super wacky called Wasabi Waiter, where as the job applicant, you go into this game, your avatar is a waiter at a sushi restaurant. Now, part of the thing that they do is they clean dishes, they wait on patrons, they try to please that patron by reading their facial expression, making recommendations. And all of this is meant to measure that person's empathy, their ability to problem solve and try to get at how would that person behave in this environment. And the video game apparently is supposed to tell the employer exactly that and answer those questions.
It doesn't seem like they're actually finding out a lot about you, per se. So do you think this is better or worse than traditional interviews?
Well, what these companies have to say about it is that they're analyzing that prospective employee in real time, how they are solving a problem, how they're thinking through something, what are their impulses? Are they the type of person who, if they're incentivized, takes more risks? And by playing the game, employers are hoping to measure those qualities.
But, I mean, going forward, is this going to be the norm? Well,
a lot of companies are using this method, and you go in, you put in your resume, then you have your face-to-face interview, then you do all of this testing, and they're taking in all of this information, and a big chunk of it is playing computer games.
Why are employers doing this in the first place?
Well, a couple of reasons. One, they say that it's more cost-effective to have these applicants go through the video game process of screening those applicants so that they can narrow down the pool to the people that they really want to focus on in terms of hiring for the company. Secondly, hiring a new employee is expensive. It's a big investment in someone, so they want to have as much information as possible before they extend that offer. And we're talking about companies like Cisco, even the US Army, NASA, that they are having applicants go through this computer testing process to try to find the best fit.
I mean, in theory, if you play more video games in the coming decades, that could actually genuinely help you get a job.
It actually could. Now, I don't want parents out there to think that I'm advocating for their kids to play video games all day long. But if you're a young person and you're comfortable with video games, you've grown up on them, you'll be able to deal with them a lot faster. It'll just be a more natural process. Whereas if you're someone more my age, going into an interview room and being confronted with a computer and a bunch of games will be pretty intimidating.
So there's a chance that in an upcoming interview, you might actually have to play a video game. So Amy, in summary, what should people take away from this discussion?
Well, that video games, they're your childhood, but they could also be your future.
There she is. Awesome, Amy. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Raj.
We'll be back in just a second.